Namaste everyone. Today I am going to tell you about types of lines. We have already studied about line segment, ray, and today I am going to tell you about the types of lines. Types of lines. According to direction, there are three types of lines. One moves horizontally, another moves vertically up and down, and next one moves little bit slanting or slopey. Now the first line which moves the horizontal or horizontally are horizontal lines, then the second one which moves vertically or just top to bottom or up and above are vertical lines, and the others are slanting lines. And if you think of about a square, then the line joining the opposite vertex, opposite vertices are like diagonal lines, they are diagonal. And now relation between lines. In relation between lines, we have three types of lines, especially parallel lines, intersecting lines, and perpendicular lines. Let's have a look about parallel lines. In parallel lines, the lines are parallel to each other and their distance is always same. They never meet each other. And perpendicular lines are lines which intersect each other, making right angle. And intersecting line, they intersect each other, and this one is also intersecting line. Now let's study about parallel lines in detail. Parallel lines, these are the figures. Now parallel lines are lines such that the distance between them is always equal and they never intersect each other. They never intersect each other. The parallel lines never meet each other, so that the angle between them is 0 degree. And if you think of about these shapes, and we have a look about opposite sides, then we get parallel lines. Here opposite sides are parallel, they represent parallel lines. Yes, they are parallel. And next one, two pairs of opposite sides. Two pairs of opposite sides, they are parallel to each other. Opposite sides are parallel here, and since it is a parallelogram, their opposite sides are equal also. Now parallel lines in real life. If you think of real life, we have so many examples. Just like here, racing tracks are parallel to each other, and if you think of these stairs, and the lines represented by them are parallel to each other. I have brought one sample here. There are so many parallel lines here. They are useful in our daily life. We use the concept of parallel lines to draw various buildings or things around us. And here also parallel lines in real life. If you think of these upstairs, we got different types of parallel lines. We get different types of parallel lines here. So some samples are only given here. Yes, these two pairs of pairs represent parallel lines. We can find so many samples of parallel lines here. Opposite ends of stairs are parallel to each other, and yes, very good. It is you all are familiar with this. Yes, it is cricket stumps, and if you think of stumps, they are parallel to each other. Very good. Stumps of cricket are parallel here. We can have a look at this. They are parallel to each other, and yes, the black stripe, white stripe, they represent parallel here. And opposite ends of white strip, opposite ends of black strip are also parallel to each other, as well as strips are also parallel there. White strips are parallel, black strips are parallel, and the opposite ends are also parallel there. And yes, very good example. Buttons of this harmonium, or we can say guitar also, they are not guitar, piano, they are parallel to each other. Black buttons, white buttons are parallel to each other. their edges are parallel. And if you think of a scale or ruler, their opposite edges are also parallel. If you think of book or pen, book or copies, their opposite edges are also parallel. We have so many real life examples of parallel lines. And yes, very good examples of pillow. The cover, the lines printed on this pillow cover, they represent parallel lines, vertical parallel lines and horizontal parallel lines. Yes, now we move to perpendicular lines. These are there are two samples of perpendicular lines. And what we call a perpendicular, a line is said to be perpendicular to another line if they intersect each other at an angle of 90 degrees. Perpendicular lines in 2D shapes. We can get here, we have two pairs of we have one pair of perpendicular line, next one here also and here also. Here in a square we have four pairs of perpendicular lines. And next one, edge of set square also represent perpendicular lines, and the clock hand, minute hand and hour hand during 3 o'clock also represent perpendicular lines, and the edge of blackboard represent here parallel perpendicular lines. Perpendicular lines in real life, here so many perpendicular lines are here. We can have a look at this. Yes, these are the samples of perpendicular lines. Here are also so many perpendicular lines here. We can have a look. These are perpendicular line, perpendicular lines. Yes. Can you find other perpendicular lines? Yes, we have. I think you can find so many perpendicular lines here. Here, these lines are also parallel, perpendicular to each other. The opposite edges are perpendicular to it. This line and this one perpendicular to each other. This side and this side, they are perpendicular to each other, and this line and this one also perpendicular to each other. Yes, there are so many perpendicular lines. This one and this one represent perpendicular line. This line represent perpendicular line. Here we have so many perpendicular lines. Yes, you try to find. Here also, can we have perpendicular lines? Yes, we have so many perpendicular lines. Let's have a look at these wall. These opposite ends. These two represent perpendicular line. This line and this one represent perpendicular line. This one and this one represent perpendicular line. This one and this one represent perpendicular line. Here also, this edge represent perpendicular line. This line, this one and this one, and so many perpendicular lines here. And also here are so many parallel lines. Do you get parallel lines too? Yes. The strips here, white strips printed on this brick are also parallel, and edges of brick are also parallel to each other. This opposite edges, adjacent edges are perpendicular, opposite edges are parallel here. Here this edge is parallel to this one 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 is parallel to this opposite edge is parallel to this one. So many parallel lines are here. So please have a look at this and try to find different examples of parallel line and present this as a project work. Now we are moving to intersecting line. Intersecting means if the line cut each other, intersect each other. They are intersecting line. Yes. Do they intersect? Do these lines meet each other? No. If we extend them in both directions, they never meet each other. So they are parallel lines. Do these lines meet? If we produce them, yes. If we produce them, extend these lines, then they will meet each other. Do these lines meet each other? Yes. If you produce them, then they will meet each other. And these, what about these lines? Do they intersect? Let's think. Do they intersect? Yes. If we produce them, they will all intersect each other. And here, the lines are intersected. Here also the lines are intersected. So these are intersecting lines. They, in this case, they intersect each other at right angles. They are perpendicular lines also. Very good. Now these all are intersecting lines. These are not intersected here, but once we produce them, they will intersect each other. Once we produce them, they will intersect each other at any point, so they are intersecting lines. Quiz 1. Now we are moving to quiz. What type of lines are they? Are they perpendicular lines? Are they parallel lines or intersecting lines? What type of line are they? Yes, very good. They are parallel lines because they never meet each other and their distance is always same. What about these lines? Look here, the lines have made 90-degree angle with each other. They are intersected at point C. So what type of line are these? Very good. They are perpendicular lines. And what about these lines? On the basis of point of intersection, yes, they are intersected at a point, then we can call them perpendicular lines because they have made an angle of 90 degree also, and we can also call them intersecting lines. Very good. Which lines never meet each other? Let's think of which lines never meet each other. Yes, parallel lines never meet each other because the distance between them is always same, always equal. Very good, very good. Quiz 5. Which lines meet each other at right angles? Which lines meet each other at right angles? Very good, well done. Perpendicular lines meet each other at right angles. Now quiz 6. How much angle do perpendicular lines make? How much angle? How much angle perpendicular lines make? Perpendicular lines make an angle of, think. Yes, very good. Perpendicular lines make an angle of 90 degree. An angle of 90 degree is also called right angle. Very good. Let's have a look about different kinds of lines. Straight lines, zigzag lines, or this is just like wave in river, wave in water. So this is wave line. We have wave line and dotted line, curly line, like this. Yes, we have so many lines and we use lines to draw different kinds of images, figure, objects in our real life. Lines plays vital role in our real life. Okay, thank you all of you.